think we can get started. Um, Welcome in, everybody. My name is Rick. I'm the community manager here at Growth and the host of our micro lessons. Today, joining me, I have Chris Nault, our CEO, and he's going to be talking a little bit about ABM 101, his expert topic of choice, and talking about leveraging HubSpot and Apollo.io. With that said, I've said enough. Chris, please take it from here.
Ooh, we need to get like the drum roll sound effect for you. I feel like it's like a good lead in. Hey, everybody. As Rick said, I'm Christopher from Nault, or Chris from Growth. And today we're going to be doing the latest lesson. I think this is micro lesson number 3 for ABM 101. And this topic is all about leveraging HubSpot and Apollo.io, and really the why these are our super tools. Cool. So in the next 20 minutes, you should learn the power of ABM. So you're either a practitioner at your company now, or maybe you're still doing some research. We're going to talk about the most common roadblocks. We're going to talk about specifically why HubSpot and Apollo can help you overcome those roadblocks. We'll share the basic ABM workflow. I'll share a success story and then some tips. And then we'll stop the recording, and then we can do an AMA, Ask Me Anything. Preferably around ABM, but go crazy. Real quick. So as I have said, my name is Christopher Nault. I am the founder and CEO of Growth. I've been an agency and consulting owner for 20 years, and for the past 17, I was pretty anti-outbound. But as new tools started to hit the market and the needs of our customers started to change, there was certainly like a amount of confusion around whether outbound was even legal. So we did what we do, and we did a lot of work. We worked with multiple software product teams and lawyers in California and just the United States to figure out what was legal and what wasn't, and then how to build best practices that were scalable. And so now I like to say I'm a full-fledged AB maniac, still working on a name there, but big fan. We're HubSpot Diamond partners, Apollo partners, Rollworks, and Databox. We take this ABM stuff very seriously. So first, I want to focus in on the power of ABM. Like I said, you may be running ABM at your company now, or maybe you're still in the consideration phase, but it's really important to not understate just how amazing it is in the B2B landscape now to be able to find companies that match the companies you're already working with and giving you the ability to introduce yourself. Literally, hi, my name is Chris from Growth. We do X. This ability did not exist until semi-recently. And of course, it was a large SaaS company that came up with this platform and found the tools and connected them for the first time. But really the flooding to the marketplace of creating contact databases and tools like HubSpot to allow you to do the outreach, it's just really incredible. So when you have the ability to know who your customers are, you now have the power to introduce yourself to nearly anybody at any company. And I just can't understate how different this is from the traditional marketing mindset. And I think this huge difference of, we can advertise on Google or LinkedIn, but we have to siphon down to really active people on the platform. We have to put a billboard on a road that people are supposed to drive by. Those are all just the traditional thought process for marketing. Now we can, with an email, with an ad, with a cup of coffee, start a conversation rather painlessly. But of course, there's a bunch of roadblocks that are preventing companies from either starting or succeeding using ABM. The first one I get all the time is, how do we even get started? There's a reason there's a lot of micro lessons specifically around ABM, and it takes a lot. The second, resources. This is going to cost some money in software, in personnel. You're going to need to have a human manning this program, and the expenses add up quickly. Another difficult part is expectations. We deal with a lot of mid-market companies and larger, and the idea that you can place a transaction and then see that 700 to 1500% ROI quickly is difficult. So it does take time to have that conversation and to manage expectations accordingly. The sales and marketing alignment, this one is the most frustrating of the roadblocks because I feel this should easily be overcome, but it's very common where sales teams and marketing teams we're not created to play well together, but it's a necessity. I go deep into detail on the micro lesson around creating your best target account list. Reporting, massive roadblock. We know that there's so many tools, but most of us who are using complex tech stacks also understand the limitations that come with that. So choosing the right tools has also become extremely difficult. The amount of SaaS platforms that have grown in the last 3 years, I think it's thousands and thousands of new tools. It makes things really tricky. But, you can lean on at least this webinar series to let you know why HubSpot and Apollo, when combined, create what we call growth ABM. And so there's a few reasons we chose to work with HubSpot. Again, I really want to emphasize the chose portion. Not only has HubSpot had a reputation of being a really powerful marketing software, but as they started to roll out their sales functionality, they really helped enter this outbound space. They have a really strong product roadmap, as most of us are familiar with, and the volume of resources that they provide to their customers is really incredible. I think those are some of the similar attributes that we found in Apollo and why we have focused so much of our energy with them. So specifically when it comes to ABM, from HubSpot, we're really leaning into the fact that we're going to have it be our data warehouse. We're going to let it be the place where all the marketing resources and workflows are kept. We want all of our salespeople to be inside of HubSpot using the sales tool. And this is going to give us that reporting functionality that we're all really in need of. And then Apollo, their company and contact database is massive. I believe it's upwards of 250 million business contacts and 47 million businesses. Like, just incredible. They also have intent data that comes with preferred plans we're going to talk about in a second, as well as having a ton of resources. They've got this really awesome academy. And from all the places I've found online, I would say they're the most genuine with their attempt to teach outbound best practices. So for anybody that's looking for an even deeper dive and a higher level of production, definitely go over to Apollo while we're working on it. I want to dig specifically into each of the tools. So for HubSpot, you're going to need HubSpot Sales Pro or Enterprise, Marketing Hub Pro or Enterprise, and Content Hub Pro or Enterprise. And specifically with those tools, with sales, we're going to need the prospecting tab. You're going to be using the sales email automation. You want all your phone calls, your text, your meeting links, your reporting, and all your deal management to happen inside there. When things happen in HubSpot, you can track it, you can report on it. And like Rich always says, work tracked is work improved. I got it wrong again. With Marketing Hub, campaign management, your marketing automation, and your list segmentation, and Content Hub, which is like a newly branded hub inside of the HubSpot portals, landing pages, content resources, basically anything that a lead is going to interact with. And just to throw it out there, and as a thank you to Jack Cooper-Smith for teaching a previous micro lesson, Commerce Hub for quoting and invoicing is a really powerful addition to that tool stack. Apollo is a little less complex. They have a few tiers of one basic product. Now, if you're using Apollo and ABM and HubSpot together for ABM, you have to purchase the organizational plan. This is their more expensive plan. I still think it's like maybe $120 a month per person. But not only do you get the access to the volume that you'll need to run a program over the course of the year, you also get access to this really handy data integration between Apollo and HubSpot, which is required if you want to report on individual team members and the list you're using. We just haven't found a way or any desire to find a way to work around this need. And there's a little QR code if you want to scan for a free Apollo account. Please feel free. Again, any questions around HubSpot or Apollo, myself or any of the people at Growth are fairly knowledgeable on this. When you combine these two powerful tools, you get what I painfully call the sales star, which is this powerful machine designed to, yes, destroy planets, but in this case, it's to target your accounts and get those new opportunities. So we're talking Apollo, we're talking HubSpot, but like, how does it all work? I've tried to boil this down to the MVP functions. So without considering the sales and marketing alignment, meeting, intent data, or some of the other things that we continue to talk about when we're talking about ABM, at its core function, you create lists inside of Apollo, you import those company and contacts into HubSpot, that then triggers the sales sequence using Sales Pro or Enterprise. Then the lead is pushed to different content or communication, like booking a meeting, Sales Pro, or a landing page, Content Hub. And then when that exchange happens and someone wants to start a conversation, run your sales process as normal. So, and there's a few types of sales processes. We're happy to help you, but a strong inbound process is great. Respond quickly, open up their HubSpot contact record, do a little research, sell accordingly. And then, of course, you'll get the deal management portion of things as well as the marketing and sales reporting. Again, not shown LinkedIn engagement steps. You can use HubSpot. Digital ads, you can use HubSpot. We also recommend Brand Gen and Rollworks. I do want to just speak quickly, although this is its own micro lesson, intent data, signals in Apollo. You'll have them trigger for companies and contacts to be imported into HubSpot, and then you'll run the process like usual. So again, I'm a big fan of intent data. There's certainly like strong sides. It always works. It never works. I base everything I say off of what I've seen happen. So I am on team. It does work. I think it's like almost like a must-have. I'm going to take a second and share a little bit about one of our real-world success stories. And so this is a safety equipment manufacturer, Mechanics Wear. We ran our first ABM program with them in 2023. So this is over the course of 9 months. We were really excited because we were able to generate $2.9 million in qualified pipeline in a relatively short period of time. You know, again, new with working with mechanics, there's always some bumps in the beginning. But what makes this really exciting was when they first started the program, they basically asked for the impossible. There were 3 global conglomerates in a certain industry, and one in particular, their director of sales has been trying to get into for over 2 years. And again, this is a safety equipment company. These conglomerates are very shielded. And within just a few weeks, we were able to get Mary a meeting with her ideal customer. And it actually spawned a really interesting story where one of the needs that they had was safety equipment that nobody in the world was creating. So mechanics had the ability to prototype, test, and then sell a new safety equipment piece. And now they're using ABM to sell it to other companies. I mean, that's crazy. ABM gave birth to this new item and is now reproducing. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so, but in our second year, in 2024, we got another swing at it, and we were able to generate $3.5 million in qualified pipeline in 3 months. The campaign continues to grow. We've found in both the 2023 program and in the 2024 program, the lead to close cycle was shorter. The first sale on average was higher than all of their other first-time sales. As I shared, they were able to create a brand new product. And I haven't hinted on this, they now have and use and do have the ability to target micro markets that they just didn't have any ability to work with before. And that can be very empowering, and that process can be replicated in smaller companies. As long as you're selling business to business, these processes that we are teaching work. But why did it work? I would say that one unsung hero to ABM is brand awareness. So Mechanics is known internationally. They have a great website. They're easy to Google. They've got salespeople on LinkedIn. They're actively participating. It's very important. You cannot take that away, which is why we don't recommend brand new companies start with ABM. You need to have a strong inbound background. We really have to talk about iteration here too, because maybe in the beginning we were lucky and we did hit this kind of very unique customer for them. But we were also given a little bit of grace to lean more into our desired process, where we're still using targeted lists, but maybe more than 3. And that's really what led to the ramp up in pipeline. And then in 2024, we actually 2x'd the program in user capacity, which gave us more companies to target, more micro niches to reach into. And I would say that they're a pretty happy customer. In fact, Marianne said the ABM program created the opportunity with certainty. She had the ability to travel, meet them in person, and under 6 weeks, we were able to get her that meeting. And again, these are all just standard textbook ABM plays. So we've talked about HubSpot and the software you need in Apollo and why you need it. They integrate well, they're easy to use, and they have simply the tools that you need. But here's just a couple of implementation tips. First, if you're struggling to launch an ABM campaign at your company, start small. Start with 4 people, 1 with marketing, 1 with sales, and then 2 other volunteers, and make this kind of like a focused effort where you're meeting consistently. If you go too big, it's just a lot of resources and time, and you may not be in an organization that is willing to see that through. I shared one of the reasons that Mechanics was successful was monitoring the work and iterating on the work. That cannot be understated. Also, make sure that you're doing your homework. Your target account list is everything. We've got a micro lesson specifically on it. I want you to focus on short-term wins. That means opens, clicks, any sort of engagement, but you're really looking for the long-term pipeline being generated, deals being open, conversations happen. Also remember that every company, including yours and the people that you're reaching out to, are unique. So the more you understand that uniqueness, the more empowered your marketing will be. And ask for help. Like, there's people literally throwing resources out there to help you. We would love to be your go-to resource, but there's plenty of really smart, capable people and companies out there. We kind of quickly blew through a 20-minute lesson on why HubSpot and Apollo are so powerful. But to recap what I'm talking about, I want you to avoid robots. No, lean into robots. Avoid roadblocks by leaning into the resources, or trust a third party to implement ABM for you. Find tools that you can grow with. One of the really cool things about Apollo and HubSpot is they've got a really strong product roadmap. Like, the tools are only going to get better, and they're great with today's use case. That's not the same with a lot of other software companies. They're excited about a feature, and that may be it. Find tools that you can stay and invest into. Both HubSpot and Apollo are great, and they're both in their own ways, but like together we call that growth ABM. So when you combine them, it's super powerful. And then avoid an epic fail or Death Star misfire by focusing on great fit customers for your target account list. And like lastly, ask for help.